Trust. Hey, this is Nick F. Nelson, Brandprenuer. And what I want to know today is, can I trust you? When it comes to building your personal brand, there is nothing harder in this world than building out a team to help out. Oftentimes, we are very, very busy and we don't have the time that it takes or even the expertise to do some of the things that we want to do to build out our own brands for our personal selves and or our business. So what does that require? People and or teams to help you out. Now, in my career, I've done my fair share of hiring and firing people and teams. And a lot of that has to do with I wasn't equipped with the information that I needed in order to make a proper decision. So today, we're going to spend just a few minutes to understand when it comes to people and or teams, when to love them or leave them alone. The first thing you need to understand before hiring a team or a professional vendor is your own requirements and your needs. Now, I'm one who loves gadgets. I will go on Amazon.com any given day and look at all of the various gadgets that they have out there. Now, do I need all of this stuff? No. When I take the time to really sit down, write down in a clear thought the things that I actually need, my God, it makes it so much more efficient for me and it saves me a lot of money. You have to do the same thing when it comes to vendors and or people. Create yourself a list of the things that you actually need for that person and or team to do. If you do that, it memorializes that and you have something to pass off. That individual that you are considering can take that information and they can make the proper assessment as to whether or not the opportunity is a good fit for them, because at the end of the day, this is a partnership, or at least it should be. In the spirit of big ticket items, sometimes I actually go to a physical retailer to pick up some of these electronics. And when I do that, that individual is at the exit and saying, "Excuse me, sir, may I see your receipt?" They look at the item that I've purchased, they go down that receipt, and they look until they find it, and then they begin to highlight it off and say, "Have a nice day." The same thing needs to occur when it comes to your brand and or business. Look for receipts. Now, what are receipts? Receipts are recommendations from other people. I've worked with that person before. I've leveraged them before. They do great work. I love those receipts. The next receipt is actually physically seeing those receipts. These are deliverables that you might see online and or they bring in person. If they're bringing them to you in person and or they are online, you have to ask questions, because nowadays even your vendors have vendors. Right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing the work, and that's okay, because it's all about partnership and or teams. But at the end of the day, the person that you're hiring and or the team that you're hiring have to be able to do the job. And looking at the receipts helps to ensure that happens for you. The next thing to consider when bringing on people and or vendors to help manage your brand is there smoke? Because if there's smoke, there's fire. What do I mean by that? What I mean here is that you have to look out for all of the various signs that, hey, this person has sold me a bag of goods and or it's just not a good fit. What are some of those signs? I'm so glad you asked. The first sign is starting out the gate slow. Deliverables late straight out the gate is just like the warning light coming on in your vehicle. That warning light means it's time to get serviced. The same thing for your brand. It's time for you to have an immediate sit down with that team member and or business and get some service. These tough conversations are often necessary, but oftentimes we don't even have them because we like to give people a second and third opportunity. Other things to take a look for in terms of warning signs include the usual suspects: vendors being late or not on time, work deliverables not being of good quality, spelling errors, it doesn't meet your needs, it doesn't meet the specifications outlined, on and on and on and on. But you have to understand that these are all warning signs, because before you know it, it's not just the brake sensor, but then you got the engine light on, you got the gas light on. Next thing you know, your whole car is shut down and there's smoke. Damn. That's what you end up saying to yourself. Bringing on people to represent you is tough. I mean, really tough, especially if you care about your brand as much as I care about mine. However, if you understand your needs, if you check for receipts, if you understand where there's smoke, there's fire, you'll make the best hiring decisions. And those hiring decisions are critical, especially when it comes to your brand. Hey, this is Nick F. Nelson, and you've been watching The Brandprenuer. If you need help with your business or personal brand, hit me up via direct message or send me an email at info@brandprenuer.com. I mean, what more do you need? You have this receipt. You take care.
Stakes is high. You know them stakes is high when we talking.